Okay, so if you were to have had a report from your city that you picked up and it said that you had a 10-foot easement to the back of the property line or to the side, let's go ahead and say, for the sake of this outline and this drawing, that your city has required you to have a 15-foot setback from this side here, and we're going to call this the north side. We'll just go ahead and put our indicator now, which the plan's going to require. So we'll just say that this is the north property line, and they've given you an indication of a 15-foot setback. So basically what we're going to want to do before we start positioning our swimming pool is we're going to want to know setbacks and easement requirements. So here we've got a 15-foot setback of an easement. So we're going to take a line, a very soft line that we can erase later. I made a little hash mark, so I drew a line, and we're just going to remember that this is the easement. We can't put anything over there. Now, some easements will allow you to go ahead and put sod and plants, but no concrete. You're going to want to check with your city on that requirement and be sure that you're clear on what you can put over top of an easement. Okay, so now we have our electrical and gas indicated on here. So now we want to locate our air conditioner. So our air conditioner, we have two air conditioners in this home. We have one on the very corner here, and then we have one just outside the door like this. So now, if you wanted to move the air conditioner in our video series, we do have a video segment there that explains that that homeowner wanted to move one of the air conditioners, and it is very possible that you may want to as well. And what we recommend before you get into designing is ask yourself if it's really going to be in a space that you want it moved. It costs about $700 or $800 to move one, about 15-20 feet. So what we're going to do for the sake of design is we're going to say we want to move our air conditioner. So what we do is we just simply erase where it was, and we're going to draw it where we want to put it in our design to get it away from the back door. So we've had an air conditioning guy come over and move it. So we're going to go ahead and write in the circle A/C, and that is going to show the inspector behind the counter where our air conditioners are located. The next thing that we want to do in preparing our own city-ready pool plan after we have the electrical and air conditioner locations marked, we want to go ahead and reference any existing concrete that we have within our site before we get into placing our pool shape in the plan. So we're going to show a patio for the sake of illustration off of the back door, and we're going to say that the patio came away from this corner right here. We're going to say that it came away from that corner. Let's go ahead and call it 15 feet from that corner. And it went straight across. So you just want to indicate that. And our patio is 36 feet wide. And again, this is concrete. So we have a concrete slab, an existing concrete slab. And so we've drawn that in, and so now you can see it right here off of the back door. The next item that you want to indicate on your plan is whether or not you have any existing patio covers or gazebos or freestanding covers within your pool site design area. So on our existing concrete pad, we have a patio cover that we don't want to get rid of. So what we want to do is we just want to show that, and how you do that is you want to show it coming away and you want to indicate where the posts are. And we have 3 posts. We have one at the very corner, we have one in the middle, and then we have one at the south corner. So we just make a little dark circle right here indicating the posts, and then you take your line, your architectural ruler, and you draw a line crossing over those dots to make it look like a patio cover with the wood coming out, and then another one here. Okay, now you can, if you would like, which I recommend to make it very clear, is double line them. And you're going to do really close together. You're going to put 2 lines just like this. And that will show the patio cover. Now that we've indicated any freestanding covers or attached patio covers to the house, at this point we would want to notate any existing masonry that would remain. So if you had a fire pit or a barbecue built in to the backyard area and a gas line run, you would want those indicated on your plan at this point before putting the pool shape into the yard. So for this illustration, we're going to say that we don't have any, but we're going to want some. So at this point of the design process, after we have all these things indicated on our plan, we're ready to slide our pool plan underneath the vellum and position it to see where it best fits. Now, at this point in the design process, I would truly recommend that you've already spoke to everyone in the family and everyone has decided where the best position is for the pool. Again, in the segments of our video series in laying out your own swimming pool, you could, if you had a lawn only back in your backyard, you can use upside down paint and paint your pool out on the ground. Even if it was going to be a year later that you were going to build your pool, 1 or 2 weeks later that grass would grow and you'd be able to mow that out. So we always recommend painting your pool out on the ground, the dirt or the grass, to give a good idea where your pool position might be so you can see whether or not you have enough space between your fence line or areas to walk around your pool. But now we're ready with the shape that we've chosen. It's a very nice pool, and so we're going to confirm some things to see if we're going to stay with this design as it is. And so at this point we want to look at our sheets of information that we've created about how long of a pool we want, what type of features we want, and that's pretty much stuff that you want figured out at this point. We've chosen our raised elevation, our spa, we've chosen the rock slide, and this pool is measuring out at 35 feet. Now each one of your pool shapes that you print out, it comes, when it prints out in full color, it'll print out in 1/8 scale. So there isn't a need to reshape a pool, but there is maybe if you'd like it to be a little longer, and we're going to show you how to make a pool a little longer in this segment. But for this pool, right now we have 35 feet. We have a nice beach area, so we have 35 feet on the pool, and then we have our beach area right here. And it has a couple of steps, so we ramp it here. We have a couple of steps here, and here's our slide coming in and some accent rocks. Now this particular pool was drawn into a backyard, and you can see the house right here and the property line. But that's okay, we're going to position it in our yard, and it's easily done by simply sliding the plan, full color plan, right up underneath the vellum. So once you figure out, you can slide around, you can slide the shape around to see where it fits best in your backyard. And we've already decided with south corner, and to give the pool equipment the ability to be hidden behind that rock waterfall. But just a point is that to bring up right now, the closest thing in this shape to the property line right now is the pool equipment. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure that we mark our 5-foot setback line right now before we get to a point where we're committed on our pool shape. So if you take and just draw a nice soft line there, now when we go to move our pool shape around, we can say, okay, well, we're within our setbacks if we commit to the drawing in this position. So we have our pool equipment located, and then we can see the position of the slide and the decking. So we really like this location, and so that's where we're going to draw this pool into the yard. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to trace our drawing and show you how that's done. Okay, so now that we've positioned our swimming pool in the appropriate location with the setbacks in relationship to the water's edge and the pool equipment, we're going to go ahead and start drawing in our swimming pool. And we have decided with the spa, we're going to put it in this area here. We're just going to go over the line. Now this spa is a freeform rock spa. So that's why we're able to just trace it freehand without using the circles. If it were a round 7 or 8 foot spa, we would want to use the ruler and our circles to verify the diameter of the spa and use the appropriate size for our decision. Some plans come with a 7-foot drawn-in spa. You may want the spa bigger, and that's okay. Just use the appropriate circle for your inside water dimension. But with this one, it's very easy and freeform because we have chosen a rock spa. So we're just going to go ahead and trace it around the pool. We're going to indicate the boulders with a circle, maybe a couple of small little hash lines to show that they're rocks. So we're going to just trace it freehand like so. So now that we have our spa in, we can go ahead and start figuring out our other circles. And so we have two choices, two tracing circle patterns to use. And so what I recommend is just to move the different ones around until you see the shape or the area that you want to draw in. And then once you find the appropriate circle, just put it on water's edge. That's what we're doing first, is we're drawing in the water. So then we just slide our circle around till we find the one over top of the tracing shape there. So, and then we go to our play area, and we get our reef step. And reef steps are really nice for kids to play on. It allows about 15 inches of water depth, and so you can make them as big as you want, and they really are a nice feature to have for to put a chair there and to be in the water. So we have our play area right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my steps because I can see those right through the vellum. So we just want to get as much drawn as possible. Here we have our circles. Now at this point, what we're not doing is we're not worrying about the radius of the circle size. We're not trying to figure all that information out at this point. At this point, we're just in trace mode. So we are just placing our circles over top to find the appropriate angles. And sometimes they'll just come out with a little harsh of an edge. Just find a smaller circle and then clean up the end that you want, just like so. Then we're going to draw in the slide and get that in. And then the back side of our slide. Now slides come in different heights, and depending on how high you want it, depending on if there's city regulations, they might say you can't have a slide that's 45 feet in the air. They might say you can only have a slide that meets the top of your fence line. So you want to find that out as well for the requirement before you start notating how high you want the bid to come back. So in this case, we're going to say that our slide is 5 feet high, and it has about a 13 to 14 foot run, which is a real nice run for the kids. So so here we have our slide drawn in, and as you can see right now, we've completed all of our circles for the water line, and we've put our steps in. So at this point, we're done with the positioning of the water line. So now we can move on to drawing in our coping. And basically what that is, depending on what your coping choice is, this particular pool came with a poured in place 12-inch wide bullnose coping. So what we're going to do is we like that choice. If we were going to do bullnose brick, we would still go ahead and trace the line 1 foot apart, which would be 1/8 inch away, would equal the 12 inches that we needed. And to indicate if it were bullnose brick, it would just be little hash marks that you would use as an indicator. But for this illustration, we've chosen separate pour bullnose coping. So we're going to find the appropriate circle that goes along with being 1 foot larger all the way around the circle that we used for drawing in the water line. And here what we have is we have this 1 3/4 inch circle, and so we draw that line. Then what we want, now that's the outside, and now we're going to draw the outside here, and this circle is the 1 1/4 circle, and we're going to go ahead and put that 1/8 inch away. And then we're going to find the other one, and it might not always be on the same template. That's why you want two templates. And so here we have this circle. We'll take care of that one. And the same one will be for the back side of this. Then we need a smaller one here. And then here we might need our, we're going to need our bigger circles for this one, which is fine. So here we have a 2.5 inch outer circle for the outside radius. We're going to go ahead and complete that. So as you see, we have a coping going all the way around the pool. Our coping around the spa was rock, so we just went ahead and chose to freeform that. We're going to go ahead at this point, we're going to draw in our steps for our rock slide. And again, having these pre-drawn plans really help to get the most difficult section of the pool drawn in. Now, for the sake of discussion, let's say that we wanted this pool to not be 35 feet. We wanted it to be 37 or 38 feet. How you would do that is you would just go ahead and move the circle where you'd want to make a line where that length of pool that you wanted would be, and make a little hash mark on the plan. And then go ahead and line up your circle with that one, and then a connecting reverse circle to connect the pool. So it's very simple at this draw point segment to be able to manipulate any angles that you want just by getting those indicators on here to be able to draw to. But in this case, we were happy with the size of this pool. So, and we liked a lot of things about this shape for our design. We liked the concrete going around the spa up to the spa. The elevations worked because we were only +6 on our deck, and most backyards have a +6. But let's say for the sake of discussion, this whole southern area, this whole south area of our yard, let's say that was elevated. There was a slight berm that went up there, and we had used the line level and the string to indicate that this south area over here was actually higher than even the midsection. There was like a slight berm, and our fence line was raised, so we couldn't do any grading there. We had to keep the slope over that way to support our original fence. So let's say that that elevation was raised 18 inches above the area in where the deep end of the pool is going to go. So for the sake of this plan segment. So we're going to write down here a little +18 inches to keep us on the same path of drawing the correct elevations. And then we're going to say that that's 5 feet away. It was 18 inches. We're going to say 10 feet away. It dropped to +12. and then a total of 15 feet away, it dropped to only 6 inches above the zero grade. So how we would go ahead and now we would begin to decide how we want our concrete. So based upon those known equations, we have those in our plan here. We can go ahead and draw the concrete that we want for that area. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it just a little bit bigger than the original concrete area. Now, so I've drawn the circle connecting it from the pool to the back of the steps going up to the slide. Okay, so we're going to say that the top of this concrete is going to take care of the 18-inch elevation that we needed back over here. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to draw in the steps.